You are watching Park TV. Welcome to Monadnock Tonight with your host, Steve Jackson, coming to you live from the Park Theater in downtown Jaffrey, New Hampshire. Join Steve for a very special Monadnock Tonight, the Park Theater annual meeting, with the person without whom we would not have the Park Theater, and our torchbearer, Caroline Hollister, and her special guests. Now sit back, relax, and here's Steve.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Park Theater. This is a very special broadcast that we have here tonight. Again, it's Thursday, December 10th, 2020. It is about 5 p.m. here on the East Coast, and this is show number 59. And yes, I'm Steve Jackson. I'm the CEO of the Park Theater and your host. And again, so glad that you could join us for this special broadcast. Tonight, Monadnock Tonight transforms into the Park Theater's 2020 annual meeting. It will be a fun-filled program with lots of news, information. So first, here is the president of the Board of Trustees of the Park Theater. And ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce Caroline Hollister. And here she comes, hopefully. Well, now, hold on, Caroline. Wait one sec. I'm sorry. You were muted there. You're now on.
I'm now on. Well, hello again. And thank you, Steve. I am delighted to welcome everybody to the Park Theater's 14th, if you can believe it, 14th annual meeting. How are you? It is our fondest and dearest hope that each and every one of you is doing just fine, that you are healthy, that your family is good, and that you are all safe and together as much as you can. So I am so pleased to be able to tell you that the Park Theater family is doing well as well. We have just knuckled down and done everything that's needed to be done to make this year a wonderful year and to get the work done that you set us out to do. We are especially fortunate that we have Steve on our team and a part of the whole process because he has adopted technology.
Yeah. I don't. There's no volume. I see her and Steve.
Well, I will continue speaking, and I hope that all of you can hear who are hearing and who are tuned in. But Steve's technology that has brought you Monadnock Tonight since March 19th is also bringing you our annual meeting on the 20th, 2020, which is the 14th annual meeting of the Park Theater. And we just are very happy that all of you who are able could join us. I hope you will return and not forget about us because we haven't gone away, much the contrary. I would just especially want to thank each and every one of you for your support to the project over the years. It is, in fact, every bit of everything that we have accomplished, we do owe to all of our supporters, our businesses, the foundations, everyone who has helped us, and as before, but no less during this remarkable year that has been very strange and very challenging for all of us. So I do hope that each and every one of you is well and your family is happy and you're together. You will be surprised to learn that this has been a bit of a miracle for the Park Theater. This whole year that looked so ominous has really opened doors to us that have not ever been opened before. And it occurs to me that I should really thank my virtual set designer, Susan Emerson, for the wonderful set that she has prepared for this Park Theater's annual meeting. We have had a year, as you all have, and you, our donors and our supporters and our friends, your generosity over the past year has made possible for every bit of work to continue. And it has been such a blessing that I am just very happy to be able to share with you what we have done and what we have accomplished, or what you have accomplished working with us. We were granted this year funds from the CARES Act to support the Paycheck Protection Program. We were granted funds from Governor Sununu's Emergency Nonprofit Relief Program. And we've been granted funds from the State Council on Arts for New Hampshire. We are so very close to be able to open up. Really, our biggest challenge at the moment is getting this virus to go away. And we know that will happen. It's something that we have all prayed for this year and makes us extraordinarily grateful for all that you are doing and have done for the theater. The building that you now see in downtown Jaffrey started in 1805. It got a barn added to it somewhere along the way, and then that Italian immigrant, whom you all know so well, Romolo Vanni, bought it in 1915. And in 1922, he raised the house up on posts, took out the center fireplace, and invited people into the barn for silent movies. It has been going since that time, with a little bit of a pause when David Sawyer died, and Nancy the theater had to be put on hold, sold to Nancy and Roy Stone, who preserved everything that they could with the theater. They left everything as Romolo Vanni and David and Betty Sawyer had planned it. And we have used their model, their plan, their theater concept as we have built this theater that you are very soon going to be able to see. As you look at it, the 3 windows across the top on the 2nd floor, that was Romolo Vanni's front porch that was raised up when he raised up his house. And we have put those 3 windows in as a reminder that someone once lived there for a very long time. Romolo and his family for a good 54 years. And then Mike Barlick, whom I'm sure you all remember, and Mike Provost, they lived there. So they're a very happy ghost wandering. In 2013, we tore the old building down and have been working since then to rebuild and build you this theater that you will see very soon. The box office is where Romolo Vanni had put it initially. The entryway is the entryway that he had that was there when Roy owned the store. And when you go in, to your left where Roy's store was and Romolo Vanni's store was, that is a lounge that we hope people will come in and sit and have coffee and wait for the show to start. When you go down the stairs into the lobby, you will be going into what was the back room of Van Nuys store and the Roy Stone's film developing section. That lobby has two notable features to it that you may not notice because you'll be so happy to have a ticket in your hand and heading down into the theater. Those two notable features are the Fifth Mountain mural that 120 Monadnock area artists of all ages, the youngest was 11, the oldest was 84, put together in honor of all the 4 historic murals that are waiting to be installed and one day will be installed. This mural mosaic is a work of art all by itself, and we owe that wonderful work of art to the people who gave their time and their talent, and the artist who painted each and individual little panel, which I commend to you. You could spend all day just looking at those. But beyond that, you are going to notice a cement floor, concrete floor. Well, I can just see that our set staff has failed to keep this. Tell you about the concrete floor that is the floor in the theater. This floor is a bit of a wonder. It is a combination of 2 elements that are normally not ever together. The terrazzo is the beautiful golden stars, and it was created by Premier Concrete Eric Traffey. The black cement, the concrete background is our night sky with the stars in it. And his colleagues in the industry have never seen the combination of those 2 materials. So we have a little bit of history and a little bit of future waiting for you in the lobby. Romulo Van Nuys had it. Dennis Wright and his team have repainted it to be as very close to the very original that was there. You will see wonderful stadium seats. They go back and forth and allow us to have theater in the round or just stadium style theater. They'll be comfortable. And I was told we made a big mistake with the seats because we allowed for leg room. So I hope you come in and enjoy that and find that to be so. When you go upstairs, you will find the smaller, well, let me go back to the auditorium because the building not only is historic and restored for history, but it is also full of history. The seats in the auditorium have been named by all your friends and family and businesses whom you may know and some you may not know from here and from farther away, who have stories of their own, histories of their own. Every single seat is a story in itself. And it's a collection of many of the families in Jaffrey and the Monadnock region and people and places that we know so well. The auditorium is named for William David Epps, and that's history too. Billy Epps grew up in Goodwater, Alabama, a very small town, smaller than Jaffrey. And he loved the arts. There were not very many arts in Goodwater, Alabama. So he left and went to New York and traveled all over the world, writing and cataloging the theatrical arts and opera and the people and places that were a part of that. His writings and his catalogs are now in the University of Virginia. And he was driven to record all of this and preserve it because he knew, as we know, the value of arts and culture and what it does to enhance our lives and our community. So Billy Epps, somehow, this part of the story, I don't know, but he managed to find himself in Peterborough, New Hampshire, living at Rivermead when he finally died. And the people who took care of his estate at the time said, let's do as much good for the arts as we can, and realize what Billy Epps' dream and appreciation of the arts are. So it is in his honor that we have named the main theater after him. Upstairs, you will find another theater. This is a smaller one. And again, it's wonderful history for all of us, but it's a history that many of us will remember. And that upper auditorium is named in honor of Michael B. King. Now, Mike was our first projectionist. He showed films for all of us for 12 years at the Women's Club and in front of the Civic Center as well. And we enjoyed those films every year, all summer long. And we loved it too, because Mike was a born teacher as well as an artist of repute and a photographer in his own right. He loved the history of films. He saved films. He bought films for his own personal library, and he taught film and art history at the Brooks School in Massachusetts. And his family asked that this smaller auditorium that can be a little more intimate setting be named in honor of Mike King. And pleasure that it will be the King Auditorium. So I hope when you go there and you see wonderful films that Steve will bring to all of us, along with other comedy acts, and I'm hoping we'll have open mics and every kind of performance and readings that you can imagine. And that will all happen in the Mike King Auditorium overlooking the town common, which if Romulo Van Eyck had known it, that in New Hampshire, the town park is called the town common, we would be restoring and rebuilding the Common Theater. But I suspect with all of the wonderful work that has been done on this building, you will find it anything but common. So take good care of yourselves. We want you to come. We wish you tonight especially Happy Hanukkah, and soon to come, Merry Christmas, and right after that, a wonderful new year full of good opportunities. So thank you all for all you have done. And I will now turn the proceedings back to Steve, who will MC his way right to all the good news that you will be soon hearing. Thanks so much for everything, and good night.
Thank you, Caroline, very much. There is, you know, even with all the negative news and sad news of the year, there's a lot of good news. And we certainly have some here, and we're going to share some more as we go on through the evening. But before we do that, I'm going to introduce the Vice President of the Board of Trustees, and then we will introduce some of the other Board of Trustees that are with us this evening from the Park Theater. But first, let me bring in Nancy Beltate. I will, Caroline, say goodbye to you.
Well, goodbye to everybody.
And Nancy will be coming on right now. And 3, 2, 1. Well, hello, Nancy Beltate.
Steve,
good to see you.
Good to see you.
And for this first, other than the fact that Nancy is one of our board of trustees, and the vice president of the board of trustees, and I am going to let Nancy introduce our newest board member. And so I'll take a little step to the side, and I will let you do the honors. So
Okay.
let me step off here for a second and whoop, I thought I was stepping off.
Hi. Thank you all for tuning in, and thank you for your support during this unusual year. And I'd like to take this time to thank Caroline for everything she's done this year and the past 15 years before that. She's done a great job with leading the construction of the project with Hutter, and we have a wonderful building that we're really excited to share with you all when we open in 2021. So we have a new board member that I'd like to introduce. Her name is Marcy McKenzie. Marcy has a background in finance and law, and she lives in Jaffrey with her husband and 2 children. We're really happy to have her on board because we have already benefited from her expertise. So I'd just like to wish you all a happy holiday, and we'll see you in the theater. So I'd like to introduce Marcy. Here's Marcy McKenzie. Would you like to
Hi.
say a few words, Marcy?
I don't know. Thank you for that. I guess I'd just like to say I'm happy to have been asked to join, and I'm happy to be on board. It's really exciting. Good things are going to happen next year.
Great. Thank you, Marcy. You're a great addition to our board, so we're really happy to have you. So
Thanks.
All right. Well, I will introduce some of our other board members that are with us this evening. So I will say goodbye to Nancy and to Marcy, and thanks so much for being with us. I'll hold on and let's see if we can. It's a little screwy. There are a lot of buttons to touch here, folks, and everyone who's a regular viewer of Monadnock tonight knows that I've touched every button and made my fair share of mistakes. But to that, let me move down the line. And our next board member that I have in the wings is Miss Peggy Ueda. And here, 3, 2, 1. Peggy. Hi, Peggy.
Hi,
I'm going to, I'll
Steve.
save the bandwidth and I'll leave you the
Hi,
full frame.
everyone.
Well,
Little delay.
yeah, you might want to just keep
in,
talking. We might have a delay on your video, but I think your audio is going through fine.
sound.
Well,
One,
how are you? I'm going to give it a couple.
I've been up.
All right. Well, Peggy, I'm sorry to say our connection is not as strong, but thank you.
30 years.
What? Yeah, I'm sorry, Peggy, but our connection is not strong between us here. But we thank Peggy for being with us, and I'm going to move on to our next board member, and that is Susan Shaw-Sarles. And here we go. Hello, Susan.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Steve. So thank you all for joining us tonight. Many of you may know me better as the Jaffrey Grade School principal, but I'm honored to also serve on the Park Theater Board. There are many reasons I support the Park Theater, and thousands of those are all of the Jaffrey children I've had the pleasure of working with over the years. You know, they, our families, our children, our staff have worked so hard during this time of uncertainty of remote learning, in school, out of school. And it just proves all the more that they are so deserving of every experience, every opportunity. And the Park Theater is going to provide that for so many. And I am so excited about it. So it's an honor. And let's look forward to 2021.
Once again, I did not touch the button. But thank you very much, Susan. Happy holidays to you, and thank you for everything that you do. We are going to go to one board member, and then I'm going to come back to Caroline with another message that she has for us. I'm going to double check my roster of missing board members, and I can tell you it's probably mainly due to the technology glitches that I think we're all very aware of. So thank you, Susan. And now this is one that a way that you can avoid a glitch. And one of our board members, Susan Emerson, did. Maybe we should have done a few more of these. Because I think this one should work well for all of us. This is Susan, who's been put on tape. So, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Susan Emerson.
Hi, I'm Susan Emerson, and I'm a trustee for the Park Theater. And Rudolfo and I would like to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a happy 2021. And we've got exciting things coming in 2021. And I am standing in our brand new lobby. It is absolutely breathtaking. So stay tuned for 21.
Thank you. Once again, the mute button I try to keep on myself so you don't hear me making any noises, and then I forget to turn it back on. But we got a little extra holiday cheer from Susan's performance as well. And but that's the Park Theater, always entertaining. I'm going to double check our list of board members, and I think I'm going to bring Caroline back because she had something else to mention. So Caroline will be coming on 3, 2, 1. Caroline, you said I heard through our producer, remote producer, that you had another message that you wanted to give to everyone out in the internet land. So I'll leave it over to you. Go right ahead.
It's just a quickie, Steve, but a pretty important quickie. And I thought it was a time of year when everyone loves presents. And I'm in possession of a wonderful present. It is a certificate of occupancy granted 2 days ago to the Park Theater. So we're just waiting. We're ready to run those tickets and let you all in, because now it's official. So something really happy to carry you into the holidays. And good night, and thank you all again.
Well, we cannot beat news like that. That's about as good as it gets for the trek that has been going on for this. That's icing for 2020 for everyone who was a fan and supporter of the Park Theater. Thank you, Caroline, for that information. And I only think the only board members that have not made it, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, are Sheila Gerbach, Kevin Hampsey, who was on earlier, but subsequently I do not see him on our list of guests right now, in the wings, and Dennis Wright. Has everyone been seen or mentioned? I believe.
I think so.
All right. Well, thank you again with that great piece of news. I'm glad we broke back in for that.
Well, Merry Christmas to everybody and Happy Hanukkah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I will give you a little bit perspective from what we've been producing in terms of programming over the past year, and it's been kind of as with everyone's life, it's been a little bit of ups and downs and downs and downs, and then a few ups. But we really have been able to try to make the best of some tough times. And but let me just show you what we have been doing with our little hat on our logo. Let's move into, a year ago, and I know so many of you were at many of these events that we were doing. We were doing a lot of live fundraising events. Thanks to our friends, with a lot of these were over at the Legion here in Jaffrey. We had the Chris Fitz Band, Mill City Rags, Janis Joplin. Really a wonderful array of entertainment and diverse. And we did very, very well with our ticket sales and fundraising those evenings. And it was wonderful. And then we were planning for a huge weekend. Obviously, it was parade weekend, and we were going to be having a huge another St. Patrick's Day parade that was started by one of our board members, Kevin Hamsey. And we had the Kelly girls out of Massachusetts who were going to be performing live. And we also had a screening of the 25th anniversary of Riverdance. So we had all these wonderful stuff planned, but sadly, as things on that weekend, as everyone knows, and that Friday the 13th, that things started closing down again and again and again. So we had to cancel all those events, sadly. But, I don't know about next March, but I guarantee you as we move into March 2022, I'd like to see that whole roster and more come back, and we will bring it to you. So we were kind of shut down as everyone else was, but we tried to make as much, as Caroline was talking about, as technology. And so we started some online programming. And the show and the time slot that we're watching the Park Theater annual meeting tonight is a time slot that we've had since March 24th of this year, not long after March of when everything was being shut down. We commenced Monadnock Tonight, a weekly in the beginning we were doing it twice weekly, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Now we do it just on Thursdays at 5:00. And we have guests interviewed. They're from the entertainment industry, but we've had town managers, first responders. We've had folks that own restaurants, everyone that's been affected, including nonprofits that have been affected by the pandemic. Librarians from Peterborough, from Jaffrey, and performers, wonderful array of musical performers. And now tonight is the 59th show, but we've had 58 shows. We've had, I will say, 79 plus guests. And we have reached over 40,000 folks via Facebook. And I'm not even including, we started for our friends that are, and I see there are some folks over watching us on YouTube tonight live. Those numbers don't even include YouTube. So there are a lot of people following us just on Monadnock Tonight. We also did a virtual movie theater, which we haven't been doing as much lately, but that was new movies, mainly independents, kind of like the films we showed at River Street Theater, that you could purchase and watch online. And then something that's been very successful is we curate free movies that are available online, try to find interesting ones for you to watch, and that's called Park Pix Flicks, and that continues. And we try to bring as many as we can to you, including this month a bunch of holiday films that are free of charge. And then we also started, and we'll be coming back to shortly, is Route 124 Bandstand, which was focusing a little bit more on the younger music, not only in terms of the age of the performers, but also in terms of the style of music, a little bit more, just a little bit more younger skew than Monadnock Tonight, which is a little more classic in all senses of the word. So we pulled all those shows together, and they, for the most part, everything Monadnock Tonight is continuing. Park Pix Flicks is continuing. Route 124 will be back on. We've produced 5 shows out at the gazebo across the street from the new theater. So we will, and we're going to develop other ones because we know it's going to be a while, and until we get the, hopefully not too long, but until we get the theater open. So we want to provide you with as much fun entertainment. I'm going to tell you about some things that we have in store that you might have heard of just for this month in a few minutes. Something else we did over the summer that a lot of people had a lot of fun and we raised a lot of money was our telethon, seat telethon, and online auction. And we had so many people there that had joined us, not only for our celebrity panel, like Aaron there from WMUR and Ray Brewer and Ken Sheldon, and I'm going to miss some, but a whole bunch were there taking pledges, and we had a wonderful auction, and something that will continue next summer and probably every summer, as well as who knows how, and hopefully our seat telethon, we won't need any more seat telethon by this summer because seats are being named in honor of families and folks who've passed on, and as well as fraternal organizations, corporations, dogs. So you can always go to the parktheater.org. I'm always saying, and I've said on Facebook today, that it is a wonderful gift that lasts and lasts and lasts. It's the gift that doesn't go away in a very positive sense. I want to thank, there are many volunteers that help us, but in terms of some of this programming, I wanted to thank volunteers. Kim Graham was the producer for almost all of the shows I've taught. She had to move out of state, sadly. Good for her family, but a little sad for us. But producer of the majority of the Monadnock Tonight shows. Andrea Cornelius was the producer of and host of Route 124. Her father has helped out on many of our ventures. Skip Cornelius, also a supporter of this theater. Janet Grant has helped us with guest ideas. My wife, Lisa Bosner, has been the official voice of Monadnock Tonight as our voiceover, and unending help from our board of trustees on all of these ventures. They couldn't, these projects, live or online, we could not do them without the generous help and volunteering from our board of trustees here at the Park Theater. I also have to say we've got sponsors and who've sponsored a lot of this online programming, and Atlas Pyrovision, Bell Tates, numerous times, Devlin's and Sons have supported us with our promotions and programming numerous times. Grove Street Fiduciary, I'll be talking about Atlas and Grove Street in a moment on something brand new. Hamsey and Grenier, Kevin Hamsey, Mike Grenier, Kevin, a board member, as we've mentioned before, has done so many contributions to the theater. And whenever I need some help around here, I call Kevin and he is always ready. And that's always helpful. Always helpful. Hobbs Jewelers, James Thomas Salon, both up in Peterborough. And of course, another board member, Mr. Dennis Wright, who continues not only again, another board member who gives so much to our wonderful theater and keeps giving. And so I thank all these folks so much for all of your contributions. And I may have missed somebody, and oh boy, I apologize ahead of time, but I think I've caught many of them. But we'll continue saying thanks in other ways and featuring the people that have helped us. A lot of these people, as I say, focusing these sponsors on our online ventures that we've done in the past year. So the question is, what is in store for the holidays? And you've seen some the beginnings of some promotion going out, but I'm going to take you through three items that are coming up. The first of which is A Christmas Carol, and here is a trailer for that. I think. All right, here we go.
Old Marley was as dead as a doornail. And this must be distinctly understood, or nothing wonderful can come of the story I am going to relate.
You will see lots of information coming out on A Christmas Carol. We're one of the few theaters in the New England area that is presenting it. The Huntington is presenting it in Boston. We're presenting it here, a theater up in Burlington, Vermont, and a few others. But it is an incredible production done during COVID. It was recently shot, one-man show with this Tony Award-winning actor as well, Jefferson Mays, and director as well, Tony Award-winning director. And they spent quite a bit of production money, as you can see there. The reviews on this show are universally phenomenal. So it's a real treat. Bring this into your home over the holidays. It's a household ticket. It costs $50 for the household. But I tell you that out of that $50, they are donating, for every ticket sold, $20 is donated to the Park Theater. So we hope that you will consider A Christmas Carol. And what better story to tell during that time? Let me see where. Well, goodness gracious, I don't know. I'll tell you, we've had some. Well, I'm going to tell you what else is coming. And I thought I had it up there, and it's mysteriously disappeared. But we've never had this many guests in the wings before. But I luckily have a poster for it. You've seen some news coming out on this. And there, for those who are on our email list, it was went out yesterday or the day before. We are doing our own production of It's a Wonderful Life. And this is a live radio play. So it will be live on Friday, December 18th, 2020 at 7 p.m. Eastern. It will be rebroadcast, taped on demand all day long Christmas Eve. And so, but you can watch it live a week from tomorrow, Friday, December 18th. Tickets for this are $12.50 each for both of these shows. But look at the cast we have here. You're going to know some of these names locally and from the Peterborough Players. It stars Brian Dozier, who does our special effects sounds, which are very important for this show. Jocelyn Duford, Caitlin Manfrey, Caitlin's mom, Kathy Manfrey, John Manning, who you might remember if you were at the River Street Theater. He and Jocelyn starred in First Night when we presented that play there back about 2 years ago. We all know who Ken Sheldon is, and also Mr. Michael Dix Thomas, and Miss Lisa Bosner is directing this program. So it should be, and Andrea Cornelius is back, and she's helping us with the production of it. So just go, for either one of these shows, just go to the parktheater.org. Tickets are available right now. What else is happening? You would say, isn't that enough, Steve? Don't we have enough going on? No, we don't. And so I mentioned this last week, and I'm going to mention it. Whoops, I'm going to mention it again. We have got an extravaganza of entertainment on December 31st. It is our own Park Theater virtual New Year's Eve party. And it will happen at 7 p.m. on December 31st. And it's a year-end fundraising event filled with some of your favorite performers, some of the ones that have been the posters that I've shown you before, and lots of other surprises. A raffle and a donation to the Park Theater gets you admitted to the Streamcast program. More details and invitations and stuff on social media will come out next week. And okay, now I've saved the best for the last, because what we have next is a tour of the new Park Theater. And if you can remember some of the things that Caroline said previously, you'll see that they're echoed in when you see this sweeping tour from the front of the theater, front of the building, through the lounge, the lobby, the main auditorium, the Epps Auditorium, and upstairs, the King Auditorium. So let's bring in the tour, and I hope you enjoy it. It should be fun. Well, if that doesn't make you feel good, I don't know what does. It certainly makes all of us here and everyone that's been on this program feel very good. But for those that have walked by or taken a peek inside, that's what it looks like, and much more. We should also say, it's still going to go through a cleaning. This is the end of the construction that's happened in there, and we were just getting everything final for our approvals for opening it up. So there's you see a little bit of construction dust and materials around. We will be cleaning that very shortly, but we figured regardless of that, we're going to get out there and we're going to show you what it looks like. And there's more to be seen, and but we wanted to give you a taste of the main parts of the theater. So most certainly the lobbies, as well as the two auditoriums where all the magic will happen. And we are planning the magic right now, the live magic that will happen in 2021. So, stay tuned as we'll start making some announcements. There's a lot that will be happening over the next several months as we get closer to knowing what our date is. Things that you'll be hearing about in terms of membership programs and the programming and other adult education programs, children, long-term, we'll have children education, after school programs. So as always, stay tuned, and you can always go to theparktheater.org and request to be on our email list. And that's the best place to be to make sure you're finding out about everything Park Theater. And final statements to another place, if you'd like to go to, park2020.com, if you're kind enough, as so many have been. Otherwise, we would not have this building that you just saw toured. Is a place to make a gift to us in the form of any amount, and also, if you're interested in a seat, there's all the information about the seats. That's the fast way to get there, is to go to park2020.com. The fun continues with Monadnock tonight, next week, because on December 17th, a week from tonight, we will have Deborah Thurber and Christopher Commander from London, because Project Shakespeare will be here, and they're going to be talking about their production of A Christmas Carol that they produced all over the Monadnock region in a pandemically correct manner. But they'll show us and maybe give us a couple of scenes as well from A Christmas Carol. So that's going to be a fun show, and you can't, the timing of it is just right. So I can't thank everyone enough. Certainly all of our board members that have been with us tonight. I also want to tell you on the tour video, I forgot to mention it after it finished. I have one person most definitely to thank with a huge amount of thanks, goes to David Tubner. David manages our main website, and he has supported us in every way you can support an institution, but he's a wonderful friend of the Park Theater. He has made videos for us for years and years and helped us in so many different ways. So David, thank you very much for your help on being Mr. Cinematographer for us. I also want to thank Mr. Scott Holmes for his music track as well. So there we are. That is the Park Theater 2020 annual meeting via the Monadnock Tonight. And as we always finish our program on Monadnock Tonight, I always like to be able to let people contact us. And there are two easy ways to contact us here. You can you can email us at parktv@theparktheater.org, or you can call us here at the office, 603-532-9300, 603-532-9300. And as we say also at the end of every program we've done with Monadnock Tonight, be safe, be healthy, always be kind to others, and definitely be hopeful, because we can do this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Steve Jackson. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you at the Park Theater. Thanks, and good night.